Welcome to another episode of She Plants a Vineyard podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Withrow, and this podcast is presented by The Affinity Films. Today I have Katie Moore from Katie Moore Nutrition. She's located in Ripley, and she's my guest today. Welcome to the pod, Katie.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we're just going to get right into it. What do you do? What is a nutritionist? What does that mean?
Yeah, so I'll say I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist. So it's a big mouthful, but a nutritionist and dietitian are a little bit different. Mm-hmm. So dietitian, I have a lot more science background and different things versus a nutritionist. There's no actual regulation of nutritionist.
Okay, so you could be a nutritionist without a degree or license or anything.
Without anything.
So you could just, I could call myself a nutritionist.
Technically, yeah.
Don't listen to my advice.
If anyone watching,
eat Taco Bell, then go for a run. That's my advice.
But yeah, so anyway, so what I do nutrition counseling for individuals. Really, I help people through their diet, being able to manage different diseases, for example. So it might be diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Some people just see me for weight concerns or just want to be healthier overall. So I really help to optimize their diet that way.
So what inspired you to become a dietitian and to also start your own business? Because most people are in a private practice, right? Or they're working in a doctor's office or maybe a hospital. So what made you want to start your own practice?
So it's funny because I really never thought that if you would have told me 10 or 15 years ago that I'd be here now, I'd be no way. Because that was never a dream of mine, at all. But to back up, so the reason why I became a dietitian, I was really always into the fad diets, even at a really young age. It was not healthy at all. I was
no carbs ever.
I was in high school, I was, yes, if it was Slim Fast shakes, or there was all kinds of bee pollen,
bee pollen? Never heard of that.
So the bee pollen, it was just a supplement that people took in order to try to lose weight or something. There's no validity in it at all. But I would be doing all kinds of things like that, kind of more disordered eating type of patterns. But while I didn't know that then anyways, that kind of led to my interest in nutrition. And then I was oh, this is cool. I could actually figure out what is right, but then I could that could be my job, is to help other people with it. Yeah.
So whenever you started studying, were you oh, everything that I've been doing is really not great?
Oh, yeah.
What have I been doing? Why did I try this bee pollen?
For sure. The bee pollen, I don't know if you remember Ally. It's a supplement that basically...
No. I must have missed all these bad diets.
You didn't have any disordered eating problems as a kid.
I starved because we couldn't afford food, so that's why I was
starvation diet.
I was on a frozen burrito diet.
Gosh. No, so it was some of those things, but the Ally, it's it's not good, it's not healthy. Basically, it causes more of fat to go through your system instead of being absorbed. So basically you're pooping out fat. It's it causes you to poop your pants.
How did you live during the day going to school?
So it was so bad.
Oh my gosh.
So bad. Okay. But anyways, it was, whenever I was in school, I'm oh, okay. And then too, it's okay, also nutrition doesn't have to be made that hard. There's also no actual products that are quick fix. There's no magical pill. There's no magical food.
Right.
So yeah, that was kind of
your journey.
That was part of my journey.
So what made you want to start your own practice versus working in a doctor's office?
Yeah, so I will say dietitians do work in all kinds of places. A lot of them actually work in hospitals a lot, long-term care facilities. Some of them are over more of food management, so working for hospitals or facilities like in doing more of like the food service side of things.
Okay.
Some of them do work outpatient, like within certain like doctor's offices and things like that. But I will say with like wanting to do my own thing, like one, I wanted to like be my own boss, like call my own shots. Like if I want to only work on certain days, like I can do that. But then also there was like a big part of me too that like really doesn't like how the outpatient setting is, like within hospitals and doctors' offices. Nothing against it with like fellow like dietitians that do work in those places, but it's kind of set up where it's often like a one and done type of session. Like someone comes in and sees you for like a session, maybe two. There's not really much follow up. There's not really much
Like long-term care.
there's like there's no communication between sessions. There's nothing like that. So it's like with having like my own business, and I could call the shots with like, okay, as far as like a follow-up, and because follow-ups are like where seriously like magic happens with like making changes, following through, discussing like how to navigate like different situations in life. So it's like, okay, I can stick with this long term, not just like I'm coming to you during this one season for this one day and trying to navigate that. It's like you can have all the information, but you have to be able to know how to like navigate throughout life in different like difficult situations that come up with nutrition, like in order to stay consistent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's been like the hardest part of owning your business and like that journey of creating it? Like we're getting something good here.
Well, I just like laugh because I mean, like work-life balance, I think for me personally, everyone's different, I'm sure, but like, yeah, I'd say probably the most like difficult part has like honestly been trying to figure out like work-life balance because I'm not very good at that part.
Are you like, do you just want to work all the time kind of person?
Yeah, like kind of.
I'm the same way. So it's not- I was up till 1 a.m. last night finishing my podcast edit.
Okay, well at least
And I
I'm
woke
not
up at
alone.
6:30 to get here.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, like other people that have been on your podcast. I'm like, I need to go back and like listen to their answers.
They're definitely like I'm interviewing mom entrepreneurs. They're like the busiest people in the world. Like, which I said in the last podcast I just posted was, I'm like, I do have guests coming on, but I'm like trying to schedule in the busiest people in the world, like moms who are raising children. They have like 5 kids, and they're running a business. Like,
it's wild.
there's like, I know how difficult it is to find time like with my business and just seeing my sister or like my family, and I don't have kids, so I can't imagine the work-life balance that you have to raise children and own a business. It's like, it's insane. It's already insane to run a business, but
it is, like, people don't get that literally, like, your blood, sweat, and tears, like, go into, like, business. And, like, you think about it all the time, and you also have to use, like, different parts of your brain where it's, like, I'm not just thinking about, like, nutrition education. Like, I'm thinking about, like, counseling skills. I'm thinking about, like, all the behind the scenes of, like, admin work is, like, a lot, you know, all the different things, communication
and then
with people. Like.
Yeah, I also feel like for me, I'm always thinking like, am I gonna fail? Is this gonna work? Am I gonna have to go to a 9 to 5? Am I gonna like?
Yeah,
that's like a
no
constant. I
doubt.
feel like most entrepreneurs they think about that all the time. Like, am I
Yes.
doing this all for nothing, basically?
For
and you
sure.
could like fail. You could literally like fail at any time when you're.
Yes, that's I don't know if I'll ever, I don't know, or it might take a really long time. And I feel like I have felt a little bit better throughout the years with it, but it's always like, okay, I'm busy now, but like, will there be like a slow time?
Yeah.
Like, will there be, you know, so you're always like,
It's like a 24/7 thing.
yes, yeah. For
Which
sure.
I in the last podcast I was like, with the sex worker comment, I was literally like,
Yeah.
that would be easier probably than being a business owner.
That's the easy way out. Like,
Sell some feet pics. Like,
yes.
I could maybe sleep at night and not have 4 hours of sleep editing a podcast and then having to go into the office to record another podcast. Like,
it could be more money at times, you know?
100%.
There's not as much of a financial risk with it, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
So we talked about like the hard part of business and like work-life balance, what's the most rewarding part of owning your own business?
Oh, so I really do like love my clients. Like I will say like all of my clients like I feel like have like a special place in my heart, like truly, because it really is amazing whenever you're working with someone and they don't like see food in like a positive light and how it can like nourish your body and how it can be like a really good thing. Or maybe it's just like someone's coming to me and they're like, I have no idea about nutrition and like what to do here, and there's so many questions. And whenever they start like to get it and things like fall into place for them, and it's like the light bulb goes off, like I love it. It's like so satisfying because I'm like, yes, like they get it, and also too. Especially for clients where like maybe they haven't had a good relationship with food like in the past. And so what I mean by that is like maybe it's something like really preoccupied with food. Maybe it's been like on and off dieting for like years. Maybe just really concerned or stressed kind of about like health and like what are healthy food choices, and it's very just like on and off for them. Then that's super rewarding too whenever they become more grounded with everything, and like you can just see like it's like food's no longer running their life in that way.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've kind of feel that way, totally different, but like with like Facebook ads specifically, like they'll be running something and they're like, it's not giving me what I want, and I like tweak one or two little things and it like gives them exactly what they wanted. And it's like just that rewarding part of it where you're like, okay, you just needed to change one thing. You were doing everything else right.
Yes, it's like that satisfaction.
Yeah, it's the best feeling. And that's like what makes, I think, business so rewarding. And also being able to be your own boss, I feel like it's just like, you can make your own decisions. I can like talk about comments on my Facebook ad and my boss isn't going to be like, you shouldn't, like, well,
yes,
because I can just do it. And if you're a client of mine and you don't like it, then I guess you can fire me. I don't know.
Right, like, and you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
No,
like, that's it,
exactly.
I think has been like, one thing with business.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start a business?
So I would say, like, one, just going for it. Like, that's, like, the first thing that comes to mind is, like, just go for it. Because I know for me personally, I sat in the space of, should I do it? What, like, trying to figure out all the details, trying to have everything, like, planned out perfectly. And even whenever I thought I had things, like, figured out perfectly, things have changed. Like you change, you progress. Like you can really sit in that space for a long time of being like, should I do this? Like,
So did you work somewhere before you started your business?
Yes. So I worked in long-term care, so like a nursing home for about 8 years. So I think it was about 6 years, 5 or 6 years, I was full-time at a nursing home. Then I dropped to part-time, and that's whenever I started my business.
Okay.
So I was working part-time in the nursing home and then part-time doing my business. And then it was about, it's been almost like a couple years now that I've been just full-time business. And
what made you finally take that jump? Like, what got you there to take that jump?
So, it's been like a few different things. So I will say it was honestly like some different like life events that like pushed me into it. I wanted to do it sooner. I think I would have been okay, but it's always like nerve-wracking to take that jump. But it was like we had change of childcare. I found out I was pregnant with like my second, and then so it just kind of like made more sense for me just to do that. So it worked out, but everything like works out how it's supposed to. So
yeah, a lot of the people that I've interviewed, a lot of times they've like gone part-time because they find out they're pregnant and they need to, and they want to be at home.
Yeah.
And they want to be able to have like, I know we're talking about work-life balance, but having this at least a freer schedule or where you can schedule your own life.
Yes.
And if you need to pick up your kids at 3:20 from school, then you can be there at 3:20.
Right, and it's like I had then would have more, even though it's funny because I like work more now than would I ever have like at any job, but
Yeah.
but at the same time you have that flexibility where if something comes up, like you can rearrange or like you can work late at night versus like, okay, I have to be at this facility at these set hours. So
Right.
that was super helpful.
Yeah. Now going into the nutrition part of your life, what does
Yeah.
a balanced diet look like?
Okay, so this is what I was saying. This was like a loaded question. So I'll try to like shorten it up a little bit. But so overall speaking, so like a balanced diet, we want to have like an appropriate amount of like protein, carbs, and fat. So those are your macronutrients. All food are made up of protein, carbs, and fat. So with that being said, I know that there's some like fad diets out there that will try to like eliminate one of these macronutrient groups or severely like reduce it. So like we had the era of like Atkins diet where it's like go really like low fat, no fat with things. So if there's any type of like quick weight loss results, any type of quick progress, whatever, like we're talking lose 50 pounds in a month or we're talking like the quick transformations, whatever the transformation might be. If there's any type of quick transformation, automatically red flag. Because really like healthy way, yes, people may be like, well, I lost weight really quickly, but we don't want to lose weight really quickly. That's like less of one, there's not good things associated with like rapid weight loss. But then two, it's like if it's something that's coming about like really quickly, likely not going to be sticking to that long term. So we're going to think like what's actually going to be long term, because a lot of the quick fixes like that, it's like people can't stick to. Rightfully so, because it's not like a healthy approach.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So what is a healthy amount of body fat to be losing?
So you're not going to want to lose any more than like 5% of your body weight within a month. So it depends on the person. You can kind of think about it like 1 to 2 pounds a week is very like reasonable, realistic. Depending on the person, it could be a little bit more, but then sometimes it can be even like less than that too.
How can someone stick to healthy eating with a busy lifestyle? This is a question for me.
So Santana, listen up. No.
Listen.
No, but really that's part of like nutrition counseling too. I know a lot of people just come to me thinking that I'm just going to be like eat this, not that, but it's also like the approach, the strategy to like your life and that sort of thing. I will say like first and foremost is like planning. Planning is key. So with that being said, I don't even care. What I'm not saying is a plan as in, okay, I'm going to eat this food, X amount, this time, and have that all throughout the day. It's like, no, there has to be some flexibility. So I'm talking like a flexible plan. Okay, do I know what my options are? Do I have food available for lunch today? What are those options? Like pre-thinking about some of that. Also, like, okay, do I have stuff for breakfast? I know that this week's going to be really busy. I'm going to be on the go. What's something that I could like eat in the car as I'm like going to work? So thinking about like really that plan to have like, so you're pre-thinking about it, because if not, like winging it day by day is not usually a helpful thing. Like I'm talking like probably like 95% of people should not be winging it.
Okay.
You're like, a plan. Like, gotta figure that one out.
Gotta figure that out. What are your go-to snacks?
So I have like a lot of like, but I'll like stick to a few, okay?
Yeah, give me your top 3.
Oh, top 3. I don't even think I can pick top 3. How about like, well,
top 10.
So definitely Greek yogurt.
Yes,
Always
yogurt.
pairing that with like fruit and or granola. That's like a common one I eat a lot of days. If not that, then I'll do cottage cheese. I do like to eat protein bars a lot too, especially with being on the go. If I need to eat something real quick between like client sessions, or it's like picking up the kids or whatever from school, it's like I can eat that in the car. I really like chomp sticks. So It's like a healthier, like beef jerky,
Oh, okay.
like think like healthier Slim Jim.
Okay.
So I like
I'll have
chomp
to check that
sticks.
out.
Yeah, this would be good for you as you're driving to work here.
Or filming, I just have snacks in my bag.
Yes. I like those. I mean, of course, I'm always eating like fruit. I like dried fruit a lot too, like dried mango, dried apricots. And those are nice because I can keep them like shelf stable, can keep them like in my purse.
Yeah.
Those are some of the top ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are good. So going back into the work-life balance part a little bit. I'm sure as someone who's a mom and growing a business that we talked about, it's difficult to maintain a balance. What did your life look like maintaining both?
So as I mentioned, I'm not super good at maintaining both. I think it's like a work in progress for myself too, to like figure out both. Honestly, sometimes it is like me just thinking about ahead of time, like, okay, I'm going to put my phone down and not be on it for a couple of hours so I can like spend time with the kids and I'm not like distracted by like messages or text or emails, like things like that. But like I said, definitely a work in progress for me. I can give all the great nutrition advice, but work-life balance, not.
Maybe I need to have an expert on
Yes,
here about work-life
please.
balance.
I'll tune in 100%.
I'm
on
not that
one.
expert either, so I can't give you any advice on that. What is your like favorite thing about being a mom?
So I feel like there's like so many joys, but I think one of like the best things is like watching them grow over time and just like in all of the funny things that they do. It's like although it's really hard, there's also like so many like comical things that like they say, they do. And then also they're like so excited to see you. So it's like no one else in your life or in my life is like that excited to ever see me. And it's like, oh, like that's
How many kids do you have?
2. So I have one that's about a year old and then a 5-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're still at the age where they like you.
Yeah. Here in 5 years, probably even like 2 or 3, it'll change. But
yeah. You're enjoying it for now.
Yes, no, totally. Whenever I go to pick them up and then like the baby's like smiling or like my daughter comes like running to me, I'm like, oh, like I'm missed.
Oh, that's so cute. Last question. This is my favorite question to ask all my guests because I always get some interesting response, but what is your morning routine?
I don't even have like a morning routine. It's such chaos every day.
Yeah.
I wonder if other people.
No, that's like how they answer.
Okay, because I
That's
was
why-
like,
that's
maybe
why I
I
ask
need to
it.
go. Maybe I need to go
That's
listen
why
to
I
like
ask
other
it because like
people's.
I'm asking mom entrepreneurs what their morning routine is. It's like we
No.
wake up and we watch cartoons for 10 minutes while I drink my coffee or
No, and it's not even like that good of an answer either.
like actually it's worse. Actually, I don't even get to drink coffee.
Yeah, I'm like just trying to like get to coffee is part of it. But no, prior to having my son, who's like a year old, prior to that, I would like wake up like 5 a.m. and start working. Like I was real wild. I'd have like my food, I'd have my coffee, sometimes do a workout before, a devotional before sometimes. But, lack of sleep does change things a lot. So now it's kind of wake up. Usually the kids are like waking me up, one of them, at least one of them, and then getting them ready for school, which is a big process. So like with the 5-year-old, I can't hardly get her out of bed. So it's like trying to get her out of bed, trying to get everyone fed before school, trying to
make
get
sure they have that
myself-
early meal. Early meal.
Like, even though they eat at daycare, we still have to like eat before school as well, to appease them. So, and then also making sure I get fed. So I do try to eat breakfast, drink some water before coffee.
Yeah, that's a good idea. To eat. Make sure you eat too.
So I do that.
Yeah.
And then usually it's like diving into work like right after they're off to school majority of times.
So
Yeah.
is there anything else that you want to tell the audience before we end the podcast? Or do you have any questions for me?
No, wait, let me.
You don't need to have a question. I'm just asking.
Let me think if I have anything to ask you. No, but you should have like had me think about that beforehand, so I could have asked you a question.
It's okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Why are you looking at me like that?
I was just trying to think if I could think of any other like ending notes that I wanted to mention.
Oh, yeah. I didn't give you time to do that.
Nah, that's all right.
Are you sure?
Go ahead and wrap her up.
Okay. Thank you for coming on the podcast. I'm so happy that we got to have this conversation. And by the way, guys, this is like free advice. She charges for this, so watch the podcast and learn, because this is good information.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. See you guys later. Bye. That's how I always end it. Awkward.
Bye.
That's the end of the podcast. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.